Okay, hydrocarbons. Any compound which has hydrogen and carbonate is called hydrocarbons. There are two types of hydrocarbons. First, aliphatic hydrocarbons. Aliphatic hydrocarbons are called aliphatic hydrocarbons because they contain fat. And the other type is aromatic hydrocarbon. First of all, in aliphatic hydrocarbon, there are two types of aliphatic hydrocarbon: saturated hydrocarbon and unsaturated aliphatic hydrocarbon. The saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Saturated hydrocarbons are of two types: open chain hydrocarbons and closed chain hydrocarbons. And closed chain hydrocarbons. Okay, the hydrocarbons which the terminal end carbon is in open state is called open chain hydrocarbon. For example, butane. Butane is an open chain hydrocarbon because the terminal end carbons are in an open state. For example, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. This is butane, which is an open chain hydrocarbons because the terminal end carbons are in an open state. Then there is closed chain hydrocarbons. For example, cyclopropane. Cyclopropane, the terminal end carbons are in a closed state. That means they are connected. That means CH2, CH2, CH2. This is cyclopropane, which is a closed chain hydrocarbon. Now, unsaturated hydrocarbons are also the same. Unsaturated hydrocarbons can also be closed chain hydrocarbon and open chain hydrocarbon. Then there is aromatic hydrocarbons. The aromatic hydrocarbon are the compounds of benzene group or benzene family are called aromatic hydrocarbons. Aromatic hydrocarbons are called aromatic hydrocarbon because it comes from the Greek word aroma, which means aroma. That means smell or scent. But in chemistry, aromatic hydrocarbon is a coplanar cyclic structure. It has a coplanar cyclic structure. Coplanar cyclic structure, and it has alternative double bond. It has alternative double bond, and it contains coplanar cyclic structure. And also it follows Haeckel's rule. That means the value of 4n plus 2 will be a natural number. These are for aromatic hydrocarbons. And if you see how benzene looks, if we talk about only aromatic hydrocarbons, you can see benzene has a coplanar cyclic structure with alternative double bond. That means it looks like this. These dots are the hydrogen carbons, and it has alternative double bond. That means first one single bond, then double bond, then single bond, then double bond, then single bond, then double bond. This is the structure of benzene, and it's an aromatic hydrocarbon. And another aromatic hydrocarbon is naphthalene, which has it can be created by two benzenes like this. It also has coplanar cyclic structure, and it's also a aromatic hydrocarbon. And this is naphthalene. This is also an aromatic hydrocarbon. Now these are aromatic hydrocarbons. So hydrocarbons are two types: aliphatic hydrocarbon, aromatic hydrocarbon. Aliphatic hydrocarbons are two types: closed chain hydrocarbon, open chain hydrocarbons. Open chain hydrocarbons are two types: saturated and unsaturated. Closed chain can also be saturated and unsaturated. And now we'll talk about the saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. First of all, the saturated hydrocarbon is called alkane. Saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Now the saturated open chain hydrocarbon is alkane. Alkane is saturated hydrocarbon because alkane has one single sigma bond, which is a strong bond. That means CH4 is an alkane, and it is called, or it is known as methane. It is the first alkane, the first member of alkane, and the second one that is ethane. That means it contains 2 carbon alkane. The 2 carbon alkane is called ethene, and it looks something like this. That is CH3 and CH3. CH3. This is ethene. Ethane can be wrote like this: CH3, CH3. Here there are only single bonds, and these single bonds are pi bonds, sigma bonds, and sigma bonds are strong bonds. And the names for the alkane group are dependent on the number of carbons. The first member is called methane, which has 1 carbon alkane. The second one is ethane, 2 carbon alkane. Then propane, 3 carbon alkane. Then butane, 4 carbon alkane. We can also go further, that is pentane, which is 5 carbon. This is 5 carbon, this is 4 carbon, this is 3 carbon, this is 2 carbon, this is 1 carbon. These are the carbon numbers. Or N. The carbon number is expressed by N. We can also go more, that is pentane, then hexane, heptane, octane, nonane, decane. Hexane is the 6 carbon alkane, then heptane is the 7 carbon alkane, then octane is the 8 carbon alkane. Then there is nonane, that is the 9 carbon alkane, and there is decane, that is the 10 carbon alkane. Now if we write the alkanes, ethene, propene, butane, whatever it is, we can deduce a general formula for them. The general formula for alkane is CnH2n plus CnH2n plus 1. That means the number of carbon, if it's 2, number of hydrogen will be 2n plus 1. That means CH2, 2 into 2 plus 1 will be the hydrogen number. That means CH2, C2H5, and this is ethane. CnH2n plus 2. Alright, so it is 6, it is ethane, that is CH3. This is saturated hydrocarbon, that is alkane. It's all about alkanes. Now if we go to unsaturated hydrocarbons, the unsaturated hydrocarbons are two: alkene and alkyne. Alkene contains hydrocarbons which has carbon-carbon double bond, and alkyne has hydrocarbons which has carbon-carbon triple bond. That means the first member of alkene is ethene, and the names that you take the root name and then ene for alkene, and you take the root name and then ine for alkyne, that is ethyne. Then propyne, then butane is the same. You take the root name and then change the last part. For this, ethane, then propene, ethene, propene. Just take the root name and change the last part. Now, as for the unsaturated hydrocarbons, as I just said, alkyne and alkene contains double bond and triple bond, unlike saturated hydrocarbon alkane, which has only single bonds. So ethene is CH2, here 2 and 2. As I forgot to mention, that is the valency of carbon is 4, that's why it has these 4 hands. So the double bond takes one hand, and the rest of the two hands, and the rest of 2 goes to the carbons, and there is hydrogens. This is ethene, that is C2H4. And for ethyne, it has triple bond between 2 carbons. That means only one hand is left, so one here and one here, and this is ethyne. And for ethyne, this is called CH triple bond CH. This is ethyne, and this is CH2 double bond CH2. This is ethene. Now ethyne can be wrote like C2H2. From here we can also understand the general formula for alkene and alkyne. General formula for alkene is CnH2n. That means number of hydrogen will be double of number of carbons, and for ethyne the general formula is CnH2n minus 2. That means the number of hydrogen will be twice minus 2 for the number of carbons. That means 2 into 2 is 4, minus 2 is 2. Now we will learn how to transform various chemical reactions using alkanes, alkenes and alkynes. First we will go the reactions for preparation of alkane. Preparation of alkane.